This month's Digital VA is brought to you by Pure Storage.
Agencies across government are assessing the damage from the SolarWinds hack. One security measure agencies are taking to secure their networks and data is DevSecOps. Reginald Cummings is Executive Director of Infrastructure Operations at the Department of Veterans Affairs. Reginald, welcome. Thanks for coming on the program. Tell me about this evolution, the move to the DevSecOps model and the impact that it's had on the infrastructure at your agency.
Yeah, it's been an evolution that's probably, in my mind, just kind of an iteration of some of the things that we were already doing. But specifically in terms of the current, digital transformation that we're undertaking, one of the things that has really occurred is a combination of introducing various teams, both culturally as well as directly with one another in terms of owning what you build and then working the infrastructure to allow those teams that are doing things like developing or putting out capabilities, giving them the ability to self-service. To do the things that they need to do to ensure that they're delivering in a purposeful way with their business partners and all that. So essentially getting a lot of the mechanics of traditional let's call it data center hosting and those types of things kind of out of the way of the delivery chain, if you will.
You used a term there that I think is interesting, the term working the infrastructure. What's that mean and how does that fit into what you've described there?
Sure. So one of the things that's primarily the focus is to ensure that the infrastructure, while it's going to continue to be there, right? And when I say infrastructure, I mean more than just the brick and mortar data centers. I'm talking about our cloud environments as well, right? So essentially getting those things out of the way of delivery, if you will. So what that ultimately means is that our teams have to be focused on automation. They have to be focused on self-servicing to ensure that the developer, as well as other consumers that may be out there that are doing things like producing and putting out APIs, ensure that they have the ability to self-service, if you will. So infrastructure as a code. It has to be more than just kind of a term. It has to be, baked into the sausage, if you will.
What does the platform look like now at VA? What does the landscape look like regarding cloud transition and data center? You mentioned data centers and agencies some people are calling it optimization, some people are calling it modernization, some people are talking about transitioning completely out of data centers and moving exclusively to the cloud. What's that look like at VA right now?
Yeah, it's still a mix, if you will. So if I was to put on my trajectory hat that says where are we going to be 4 years from now, 3 years from now, 2 years from now, that kind of thing. Our overall landscape is actually pretty it's pretty significant from a system standpoint. We have thousands of systems that are sitting out there, but it's really relegated to 4 primary data centers, brick and mortar data centers that is, and we have some regional data centers as well to deal with some of the things that have to be dealt with at those local geographies, if you will. And then from a cloud perspective, what we're doing is as we get opportunities to maybe there's a contract that's that we have to reevaluate for a regional data center, and rather than going into that new contract, if we have the capability for either moving that to one of our other 4 primary data centers or moving those students to the cloud, we take those opportunities. But I expect over the next 2 years, currently we're sitting at approximately 100, a little bit more than 100 applications, major applications sitting in our cloud environments. That's both AWS and Azure. And so that's probably 15% of our total portfolio of applications. Over the next 2 years, I expect that we will have approximately 300 or so. So the idea is be at some point in time we'll have a close to a 50-50 mix, but I don't see us walking away entirely from our brick and mortar data centers. But what I do see is our ability to essentially eliminate the conversation of whether something is hosted in a data center on premise, if you will, and a cloud by working and modernizing our hosting capability via platform services, right? And that's basically, a layer above both the cloud as well as the data center itself. So where we move our workload and where we, actually run things should be really transparent or immaterial to our customer base. That gives us the ability to make sense of what is going on with an application or with the capability, give us the ability to do things based on performance and how things are running versus, the emotional, do we host it here, do we host it there? So, we have some very good times coming ahead of us. We have some challenges, but those things can be overcome again through, traditional automation and workload management types of instantiations that we're working on.
Reginald Cummings, thanks very much for joining me. It's great to have you on the program.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate the time.